I'm going to show you guys exactly how to find 100x meme coins on Dexscreener. I'm going to give you a full tutorial. It does not matter if you're just starting in cryptocurrency. Not only that, I'm going to show you how to find them before anybody else finds it. And that's key because you are going to buy the coin before the social media influencers start promoting it, and they're literally going to send money to your purchase. And that's how you make money off of these coins. So definitely take some notes, do what you have to do. This is going to be very detailed. Also, if you want my complete system, in this video, I'm going to give you the coin system, but if you want the complete system, head on over to my website, coinpixedu.com, or click the link wherever it is, and you can get access for the free millionaire checklist that made me millions by the age of 25. I just give it to you 100% free, and I give you the entire training with it as well. You can just have it, take it, free gift to you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of my community. So this one framework right here is what turned me from a broke crypto investor that's just chasing everything to a consistent cryptocurrency investor, to the point where I've been full-time for about 5 years in crypto. That's all I do. I don't have any job or occupation. If anything, we just launched a hedge fund. So yeah, this right here, this exact system. Listen to what I'm saying. So I'm explaining to you. First things first, when you're looking for coins, you have to zoom out, okay, and look at the chain itself. You have to make sure the chain that you are getting the coins on has liquidity. Then from there, once you identify the chain, you identify the biggest decentralized exchange, meaning the best exchange. I want you to think about it, for example, like someone that's going into a brand new land. Let's say hypothetically, we're going into the metaverse and you're trying to essentially create a city that has never been conquered before. That's the chain, right? The land is like the chain. Now, within that city, there's going to be a marketplace where people are buying and selling. That's where all the money is going to flow. That's where you're going to be able to buy different products, different types of foods and things like that. That is the decentralized exchange in the cryptocurrency world. So you want to make sure that the decentralized exchange has liquidity. There's a lot of money in it. If you could see that, right? You see the momentum of the liquidity increasing on the actual chain, and then you see the amount of money flowing into the decentralized exchange, then chances are the coins that you are getting involved with will get an influx of money. So you have to make sure that works. And then from there, you pick a specific ecosystem, like for example, AI, or for example, RWA. You pick a specific ecosystem, you compare and contrast all of those coins by these three right here, these three fundamental analysis perspectives: liquidity, team, and demand. And that's pretty much what we're going to go through in this video to give you the complete system, so you can guarantee that the money is flowing in to the coins that you are buying, and you're on a profitable city, right? You don't want to go into a desolate city with no money at all and everybody's broke. You don't want to do that, right? You want to buy coin. Like, think about what I'm saying. So you can't find some of these statistics on Dexscreener. So we're going to go to DeFi Llama. Okay, so DeFiLlama.com basically allows you to see where the money is flowing, and this is the first part you want to do. So at the top here, as you can see, we have Ethereum. These are the chains. These are like the land, right? And I want to pick my favorite because I already know it has good liquidity, so you can kind of stick to this if you don't want to understand this part. But, you know, I just wanted to give you the strategy. So Base has good liquidity, and as you can see right here from the TVL, look, there's even momentum in the liquidity, and it's doing very well. Look at the TVL. So TVL stands for total value locked. And as you can see, it's increasing in liquidity. Now, from there, I already know this, you want to look at the decentralized exchanges within the base. So you found the land, it's like a big land. Now there's a whole bunch of different exchanges in different cities. You want to make sure that you find the best decentralized exchange that has the most liquidity. Let me show you. Now, if you scroll down on Dexscreener, you're going to see a whole bunch of different projects. We were here, you just scroll down on whatever chain you're on, and you're going to see the TVL of multiple projects. Now, I know that Aerodrome is a decentralized exchange. You could just click each one to make sure you're getting involved with an exchange. There's all different types of projects, by the way, though. But we're looking for a decentralized exchange. The reason why is because that's where people buy and sell cryptos. So that's where the liquidity is most likely to go. So if the decentralized exchange has a lot of money flowing in, then it's like a small step to the coin. So if this coin needs to be on this decentralized exchange for us to find these super undervalued meme coins or whatever type of coin. So as you can see right here, specifically, I want to zoom in. As you can see right here, Aerodrome Finance is number 2 by TVL. So I'm going to command click and open a new tab, and you can see that there's a lot of liquidity. Look at Aerodrome. There's a lot of liquidity. We have millions, close to $1 billion. Now, the best situation to look for when it comes to buying right here, as you can see, the momentum is going up. So it's not the perfect time right now, but you see the momentum going up. You want to jump into that. That is what you should be looking for, because again, we have momentum of liquidity on the chain, then we have momentum of liquidity on the decentralized exchange. That means chances are it's probably going to fly into the altcoin. So now that checks off the second part of our research checklist. Now we can finally go over to Dexscreener. So if we go to Dexscreener, you can actually filter out for what we just researched. So if you come over here to custom filters, you click custom filters, and you could actually look, you could pick the chain base, and you could pick the exchange. You type in arrow for aerodrome, and I'm going to click version 3. That's the newest version. And now brings us to this liquidity level. So this is the liquidity of the actual token. So we can adjust parameters on looking, when it comes to risk, I'm going to show you this chart. When it comes to risk, there's different risk types. If you go low liquidity, it's higher risk. If you go higher liquidity, it's lower risk. So let me give you kind of a chart and breakdown of this right now. We call this the liquidity matrix, and we're actively updating it all the time. It's not really perfect, but we found based off of history, these type of liquidity levels. So if you're looking for a 50 to 100x, you want to make sure the pool is really, really small. You want a small liquidity pool, right? And we look at like about 50K to 150K. Now, if you want a pool that does a 20 to 50x, we're looking at these liquidity levels. You get the point. And if you want something that does like under a 20x, a million plus liquidity. It's not an exact science, by the way, too. It doesn't exactly work like that. But based off our history of doing research, buying the coins, getting results, doing research, buying the coins, getting results, we realize that it's kind of what it looks like. This is kind of the, liquidity levels that will give you the type of multiples that, you're looking for. Now, the reason why I said this is because a lot of people assume that just because a coin is cheap, it's going to go up fast. Now, I want to show you something. This is very important for this understanding on liquidity. It will give you a different perspective when it comes to cheapness of a coin. Of course, if you're trying to find 100x, you want to find cheap stuff. But this is not underwear. Like, there's a difference between cheap underwear and, like when you're buying underwear, of course, you just go for the cheapest price. But when you're buying a crypto, it's not just about the cheapest price. It's about, can the price of the coin increase so you could sell it for a higher price? Because you're not trying to sell your underwear. So in trading, it's just completely different when it comes to understanding cheapness. And I'm going to try to break that down for you right now. In cryptocurrency, how much your portfolio grows, it all depends on the percentage increase. So for example, I'm going to break it down for you. If you put $100 into any coin, it does not matter how much the coin is worth. What you're looking for is the percentage increase, right? Because a 10% increase on $100 is $10 profit. So we only care about the profit. That's all we care about. So for example, we have two kind of polar opposite coins, Bitcoin and XRP. Bitcoin's worth like 100 grand right now. XRP is only $2.10. At first thought, people assume like, oh, $2.10 means it's cheaper. I'd rather buy XRP. That is not the case. That's dependent on liquidity levels, just like we talked. But let me explain it further. So for example, if you buy Bitcoin, by the way, you could get a fraction of a Bitcoin. So if you put $100 into a $100,000 Bitcoin, you actually get 0.001 BTC, right? Now for XRP, you're going to get about 47 XRP. But again, that doesn't matter, because if Bitcoin goes up 10%, you just made 10% on the $100. And if XRP goes up 10%, you just made 10% on that $100. So in both cases, you made $10. So again, the price of the coin is irrelevant. And even the market cap. I know a lot of people on the internet talk about market cap. We have debunked this for years now. Market cap and price are irrelevant metrics to understand the cheapness of a coin. If you want to understand the cheapness, what you're trying to do is comprehend how fast it can go up so that you can sell it for more expensive. And this is Trading Cryptocurrency 101. Please pay attention. And by the way, I want to add a quick little tip. If you don't understand this video, you could actually take the transcript of this video, put it into AI and ask it questions. This is super important because a lot of people, they don't comprehend it. They get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. My goal here is to help you and get you through the process in cryptocurrency. So take the transcript, put it in ChatGPT and learn, and just sit there and learn what I'm saying, right? So to understand and complete this concept of low liquidity equals fast price increase, I want you to think about a whale and two pools, right? So let's say hypothetically you have a whale. One pool is really small, right? and another pool is really big. If this whale jumped into the small pool, they're going to displace the pool. It's going to be all over the place. Think about a small pool. It's going to be all over the place. Now, if that same whale of the same size jumps into the bigger liquidity pool, it's going to move the liquidity pool a little bit, right? It's the same thing for price. Everything is a mechanism of supply and demand, right? When someone buys something, right, that purchase is demand. Like think about sneakers, for example. If you have 100 pair of sneakers and somebody buys 50, you have just like doubled the price of the sneakers because there's not that many in the supply. It's the same thing with the liquidity pools. The liquidity pools is the meaningful element of the supply and demand. So again, just think about it this way, just to make it simple. If you have a small liquidity pool and a whale jumps in, it displaces the liquidity pool. And if it displaces the liquidity pool, then the price skyrockets because there's less in the supply of the liquidity pool. Now, if you have a big liquidity pool with a lot of supply and the whale jumps into the big one, it's not going to displace it as much. And so again, when it comes to liquidity, if you want the price to move fast, now this is on both ends. It's not just price increase. It also decreases the price fast. So if you're looking essentially for high volatility where you see a lot of up and down very fast, this is how we get the 100Xs. You want to look for lower liquidity pools. But remember, if it's low liquidity pool, that means that there's just a lot of risk in that liquidity pool. So high risk, high reward, high volatility is what you need to find the 100Xs. Now, with that understanding, it allows us to put the liquidity filter, as you can see right here. So we got the chain, we have the exchange where all the liquidity is flowing. And then now we have 50K to 150K. Obviously, we're going for high risk, 50K to 150K, which is the 50 to 100X range, as you can see right there. So this will give us this high risk stuff. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to click filter. And it's going to give us a list of coins that are in the parameters that I set. So super important. Now, all we have to do is apply the fundamental analysis framework, right? We have the liquidity, check. Now we have to look at the team and we have to look at how they get demand. How are they going to get people to buy their project? And then usually the team just kind of gives you the two elements of, yes, they can pull off what they said they're going to do, right? And also, if they're a public team, it weeds out 90% of the scams because at this liquidity level, you have to understand the risk is very high. So you want to ensure you do not get scammed. Please make sure they have a public team. Let's go into those. Let's go into this fundamental analysis system so I can explain it deeper. So let's focus on the demand element, right? Because we now have these lists of coins right here. Like which one's going to actually go viral, right? I don't know if it just refreshed or whatever the case is and make sure my filters are right. Yep, we're good. Which one's going to actually go viral? Like I don't want to buy a dead project. I want to buy a project where everybody's buying into it and increasing demand. So we actually have a very specific, by the way, we didn't just make this up. This is 6 years of trial and error, very specific process. Okay, so listen to what I'm saying. Demand equals buying pressure. It's basically how many people want the token. Okay, so this is the best mental formula we have ever had. Listen, demand equals narrative contagion times emotional urgency. Listen, so kind of like the two breakdowns. Narrative, contagion is basically how viral the narrative is. Contagious, viral, right? These words are used for viruses, but at the same time, in the internet, things go viral, right? On the internet, things go viral. So there's a specific way to understand that, right? You want to know, okay, this coin project is within a narrative. A narrative is just a story. So this story has proven to go viral. So I'm looking through the list of coins, low liquidity pools. I found a project where this coin has a history of going viral, or a similar coin in another narrative I've confirmed from another coin with the same exact narrative has the tendency of going viral. And this will increase the demand. Now, it's not just that, it's also emotional urgency. How badly people feel like they need to buy this coin. And this is clearly identified with a concept called hair on fire problem. Do they have a solution to a hair on fire problem? And the explanation behind that basically is, let's say hypothetically, my hair was on fire. If my hair was on fire and this coin project sold water, I would do whatever it takes to buy that coin. It doesn't matter. It's kind of like this extreme emotional urgency. If you can find the intersection of something that's proven to go viral in the past based off its narrative and its stories, And it's really the innovation behind the project, the utility of the project is so emotionally appealing that I need to buy this now. And you even feel it while you're researching. Well, that is the sweet spot. Listen to what else. That's the sweet spot. Perfect. Now let's get into the team, right? So the team itself really, really matters, right? And these are kind of like, again, this is very specific. It seems simple, but we've had very big lists to identify the members of a team. We've had all these different attempts at, to understand it. And we've kind of boiled it down to this very, very simple framework right here. Number one, credibility. Do they actually have real world experience? Now, the closer you can get to what we're looking for is the answer. For example, the best 10 out of 10 would be someone that has created a successful crypto project in the past, right? Because they have crypto experience, they have business experience. Not only do they have crypto and business experience, they have proven results experience. That is the best 10 out of 10. Now there's other 7 out of 10s and 6 out of 10s, and you could actually put a grade to it. We do that. We actually have a database and we grade all the coins that we look for. And this database, we could just pick whatever we want. So the market dips while everybody's scrambling to find the best coin. We already have a list of the coins, right? This is professionalism. This is consistency in trading. A lot of people don't have that. But the point is you can grade the credibility. So for example, there could be somebody that maybe they haven't made a crypto project, but they've made a business that reached 100 million. They sold the business for 100 million. Obviously, that's like 7 out of 10. They don't have the crypto experience, but they have the business experience. And then we go down from there. Maybe somebody has a PhD, but they have no business experience. That would be considered like a 3 to 5 out of 10, right? And so the point is, the closer you get to the actual result of price increase for coin, the higher the score. Now, that's the first part, credibility. Execution. Can they actually build and scale the project? That comes from, again, like really looking at have they done it before in the past? And then trustworthiness. Do they have a track record of scamming people? Are there red flags, fraud, deception? Are they lying? Did you catch a lie, right? All of these elements, you look into the team to make sure, okay, they're legit. Now, this is obviously a research process. If you want to do it quickly, you could do it quickly by if you just make sure that the team is public, you'll get a lot of results. You'll actually filter out 80% of the scams on this website. So what I'm going to do for the remainder of this video is I'm going to go through a couple of coins to see if we can filter through and find a coin that kind of meets the criteria of what we're looking for. So as you can see right here, I'm just going to naturally go through it. Like I haven't even pre-made this video or anything. I don't know if I'm going to find a coin or not. Now, what I want to do is skip. Obviously, this is like a liquidity pool. It's not an actual coin. This is a stable coin. This looks like a real coin. Now, what you could do on Mac is Command click, and it just kind of opens new tabs. And I'm going to open a whole bunch of them. I don't know what this is. I'm going to open it. I don't know what this is. I'm going to open it. I don't know what this is. I'm going to open it. This looks like a liquidity pool token. I'm going to open this one, and I'm going to do 3 more. And I'm going to open this one, and this one. All right. So if we come over here, you can kind of, okay. So the first thing we usually do to just kind of weed out more is we look at the price. That looks kind of like a scam a little bit. It looks like a scam. And then we could quickly look at the website to see if there's anything. There's no website. See that? Ignore it. Next one. So we look at the website. There's no website. Let's look at this one. But it does have some price. So I usually like to have a website because if it doesn't have a website, then you can't find a team. So this one doesn't have a website. Let's go to the next one. This one, see, at this liquidity level, you got to be careful because a lot of these coins, I'm telling you, like this is a low liquidity level, but it's obviously like finding a diamond in the dirt, right? Like you can, if you do find it, it'll be kind of crazy. So we're going to keep going. As you can see right here, 105 liquidity. I don't really see a website. So we're going to ignore that. Okay, this one finally has a website. So this one has a website. The price doesn't look that good. Sometimes you want to find momentum and price going up. It's not that bad. As you can see, there's higher lows. That means when it comes to the technical analysis, that means that there's like people that are actually buying, selling, but like some people here didn't sell. Some people here didn't sell. So there is holders. So it does look like normal. You can see the liquidity is only 52K. So that's an extremely low liquidity pool. That's a crazy low, but let's look at the website. So I'm going to go on the website. We're looking at Loom Lay. I don't know what it is. So less clicks, more trades. Use trading strategies managed by AI agents. Now, interesting enough, I already know this off the top of my head. We just talked about how AI agents is a viral narrative, right? So that's kind of checking off one point of demand. It actually is legit. Now, there's a couple things you could do for finding a team. I'm going to copy this, and I'm actually going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to say, who made this coin? And I'm going to try to get a list of people that actually made this coin. Let me drag this down here for you. So yeah, there's no CEO. So this is a kind of like private team. Can you keep going? Yes, probably, but it's a private team. So let's keep going to the next project. I want to find a public team because this kind of guarantees that, you know, it's not a scam. Now we have upward price trajectory. Now the first price dumped a lot, but look, at least we got something going on here. There's a little bit of life. The liquidity pool is at 76K. No website, but they do have a Twitter. So let's go look at the Twitter. Let's go look at the Twitter, see if there's something here. Agentic machine. So I know this off the top of my head that these things are agentic basically means it runs by itself. So this is an AI. We know that this is a narrative that has worked in the past. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but this does work. You know, it's a thing that does work. So I'm going to ignore this for now because again, I want a public team, but you could dive into this a little bit more and look at, like, for example, who made the AI bot and you know, things like that. But I'm just going to keep going just for sake of time on this video. This one has 144K liquidity, which is probably more likely not a scam. The higher the liquidity, the less risk. Price looks kind of weird. I don't know. There's no website. Keep going. See, a lot of these are not going to have a website. I told you. A lot of these, if you just weed it out with a team, you will get a lot, guys. You will get a lot of scams off the table. So as you can see right here, this is higher. Looks like a little pump and dump. I'm not going to lie to you. The price doesn't look too good. Let's look at the website. So this is the website, hire.party. I'm going to let it load. And then while it's loading, what I want to do is, I don't know what's going, see, look, that virus. You see what I'm saying? You guys got to be careful. You know, high risk, high reward. P-pods. Let's go to the next one. This one looks like a pump and dump, but at least it has some price history. Let's go to the website. No website. Keep going. This one is this is by Virtuals Protocol. Okay, let's see if they have a website. They don't. Keep going. Okay, so we haven't really found anything. Now, if you keep finding scams, what you could do to help yourself a little is change the liquidity level. So obviously something's going on. I'm going to do 100,000 to, let's say hypothetically, I don't know, 200,000. Yeah. Because we're getting like straight like scams, right? Let's keep going. And I didn't look long enough, to be honest, but I just want to, for the sake of this video, get something that's actually meaningful. So let's look at this for price level, and we're going to keep going. So like Edge, we already saw Hyper. Let's see. I don't know if we looked at Nation or not, but yeah, we'll keep going. We see a couple of these. YGG, you got a couple of these. Do we have any more? Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all they have on this website. There's other websites you can do, and you could, again, adjust the liquidity parameters, and it'll give you more coins. But let's take a look at these, right? So right here, we have 195K liquidity. Okay, the price chart looks like it's kind of normal. Yes, this looks more normal than anything. As you can see, it's going up. Let's see if they have a website real quick. They don't. Wow, we're just gonna look for websites. Okay, this one has clearly has a website. 160K market cap, 179K. Okay, this looks normal. All right, here we go. We go to the website. I understand. Okay, legit. Now, what I want to do is just pop open AI, and I'm just going to do the same thing. Do they have a public team? And I'm going to paste the website in the AI just so it could just like find it for me and not really have to do anything. It's way faster this way. Nope, the founders remain anonymous. So again, we keep going, and I just keep digging. This is literally what I do, guys. I just keep digging. Let's find this one right here. I'm looking at the just straight website. Okay, here we go. Here's one, Mr. Wiggles. I'm gonna go to the web, understand, grab this. I'm just gonna paste it into AI. Let's make this quick. Paste it, boom. Let's send it, see if that one has one. I'm gonna keep going for now. Okay, and then we have right here, 102K liquidity, no website. So we're really in the depths right now. Now, I wanna show you a pro tip while this AI generates. Let's look at AI real quick. Okay, so here we go. Origins and community takeover. It initially launched after Coinbase's viral Mr. Wiggles NFT video. includes, okay, pure Per Labs. Okay, so it actually has a CEO. Now, we don't want to take this as face value. This is like 2 seconds of research, but it has a public team. And so I would add that to a list. And then I would add a whole bunch of coins to the list, and I would get a whole bunch of public teams. And then from there, I would simply just compare and contrast them. That's kind of the way this works. Now, if you're still here with me, what I want to do is I want to show you a bonus tip. So there's this website called I think it's called CoinGecko Terminal or Coin Terminal. I don't know. I'm just going to Google it. It's actually the main website that I use. It's like the same thing as Dexscreener, but they have more options of tokens. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to specifically the chain base, and we're going to click filter, and we're going to adjust the parameter to what? Decentralized exchange Aerodrome. Now you want to specifically use Aerodrome on base. Use Aerodrome on base. You can use both Aerodromes, doesn't really matter. And then you could add liquidity. We're going to look at 50,000 to, let's say, 200,000. Save. And this is literally what we do. We look at this and then we try to just keep going. We found this coin Navigate the other day. We just keep going. Look at mode. Let's look at RFL, Pendo Finance. That's one of the coins I made a lot of money, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars off Pendo Finance. We're going to be looking at Anon. Like, I'm just picking coins that I already know, like a lot of these because we've been researching them, but I'm just picking coins that I don't know of, if that makes sense. And you get the point. You're going to find, and let's kind of go into it because it has a different web. So right here is the website. So look at the price. It looks like a scam, kind of. This is the website. We're going to open the website mode. Okay. We're going to grab that. We're going to just drop it into AI so we can quickly find a team. Boom. All right. Boom. Any team? Here's what I found. Yes. Great. We have a public team. So this will be added to the list. Are you catching what I'm saying? RFL, reflect price. I don't know what this is, but let's go to the website. It looks like an AI agents. This looks like a scam. See, I wouldn't invest in this. Look at the website. It's horrible, but I could look into it if I wanted to. Let's keep going. There's so many coins. This is why I moved through them quickly because there's just so many coins. So let's go to the next one. Okay, I don't know what this is, but I don't want to accept that. I'm going to take the website, copy it, put it into AI. Do they have a public team? And again, I gave you the parameters of what I look for in the team, and I'll dive a little bit deeper in the research, but let's look at this quickly. Yes, DeFi veteran. Oh, wow. I know this guy. This is actually a gem. This is actually a gem. I know this guy so this is what qualifies as good research. A good team, as you can see right here. Founder, the driving force behind a seasoned DeFi developer known for product. I know Popsicle Finance. I know Abracadabra. This guy this is where we're talking about 10 out of 10. So look, we found one. I found a gem. Listen to what I found a gem. I found a gem. I found a gem. We found one right here. This is public video. Like, it's funny. I had never seen this. We found a gem. So you can see right there. This solidifies the video. Again, I just want to leave you guys with this. If you do want the complete system, I gave you probably like 20% of what we do, 10% of what we do. If you want the complete system, head on over to our website over here, coinpixedu.com, access free millionaire checklist. There's a whole training and a detailed training. And then what I do is I find a whole bunch of these coins, guys, and I have a list of them. And then I can keep filtering and I really find like the best of the best. And once I find the best of the best, I use aggressive risk management strategies, and it kind of just details everything in this video. You'll see what I'm saying. So go ahead and sign up and you'll get the free checklist, and it just really extends on what we just talked about in this video. Thank you guys for watching this video so much. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.